can you tell us about the caste cases that's happening here and also the legislation that's moving forward in the California State Assembly? Why is this happening? How the community feeling about this?
So we are actually way late in educating ourselves in SB 403. So we basically just found out 6 months ago while the opposition has been working on this for years. And we learned about that they actually filed a case against two employees of Cisco because Cisco is the biggest hire of Hindu community. So they wanted to make it a point to make sure that they go after a company that sends huge strikes all over the nation. And even though the caste system was still the caste case was still going on, and even though both the defendants have been exonerated, they keep bringing up Cisco case in the law. When you listen to legislators, they keep saying caste is happening because there's a case that's filed against Cisco, and because Cisco hires most of a lot of Hindus, high percentage of the employees are Hindus. It's a perfect storm to prove that the caste truly exists. So all this numbers, all these surveys are fabricated, and they're based on just he or she said. There has not been a single case filed against caste except the Cisco case, and we already know now that that was also fabricated on false premises. Now, the sad part about this is when we are communicating this to our community, they don't realize the danger of what's happening here. They don't realize how closely it is that it could come to us at home. We are seeing it in our universities. We are already seeing it in companies. They're trying to change the legislator policies and procedures at schools. They're changing policies in universities. So it's really going to hit our children in school and in their employment. So I'll let Samir talk about further that he mentioned earlier.
Yeah. So one of the point that I want to make is whether it's SB 403 or a caste system or even being Hindu. I think most of us were a sleeping community, right? We were told always, hey, when you're in Rome, do as Romans do, right? Um, I think we should not forget our heritage. Um, both of us, we've been here since we were 10 years old. We had no clue about this caste system, neither we've looked at anyone um, thinking that they are from this caste or a lower caste or a higher caste. So we never ever knew about it. Neither we thought that this could or such a thing could happen in America. But the way we're looking at it now, the way this SB 403 flew through the Senate and now flew through the Judiciary Committee in Assembly with unanimous votes, uh, it's amazing how is this happening and who is behind it. So I think we need to bring our whole community together,
And wake them up.
make sure that we're all awake, we're not sleeping, and letting this go through. And this is just the beginning. Who knows what else can happen if we stay asleep?
Is the community united on this issue or there is divisions within you guys?
I think the community who finds out, who really looks into deep down into it, I think they are being united. Um, the community still thinks, oh, nothing will happen. Just like thousands of years ago, they said, hey, no one can, we're Hindus, we are a philosophy, no one can destroy us, this and that. But Mughals came to Hindustan. They've converted at that time 7 to 8% of Hindus into Muslims. So this can happen right now. when we say such things right now, because of social media, things can even be worse. So don't keep on saying we're Hindus and we're a big community, nothing can happen. This can always happen. And nowadays, I think it can happen even faster because of the social media
If it goes through, what implications it will have on the community, on the Hindus in this country?
community. You want to
Well,
speak?
yes, a lot. Because one of the things, the key things that you see is that you're going with the notion already, thinking that we are discrimination. Basically means that if I own a company, if I feel that I'm hiring somebody who could be legally challenging for me and that can bring lawsuits in my company, I'm going to be reluctant to hire that person. So if I feel like that, okay, Hindu communities structurally are oppressors and oppressive. So if I don't, and I can't ask, I may not be able to ask their caste, but just not knowing that they're going to bring problems to my community, my business. We already are dealing with sexual harassments. We're already dealing with, unlawful terminations. Like if you own a business, we are already cannot let go people without a due process. The process is huge, and then you add another layer. No one's going to be able to handle that. They're not going to want
It will be
to
difficult for the Hindus to get employment.
Yeah.
employment.
So I'm gonna piggyback on her saying it's bad for both. If they're saying that Hindu higher caste is oppressor and the Dalits are
Oppressed.
oppressive or oppressed, it's bad for both
Both.
of them because the HR is gonna take a look at it. They're gonna say, okay, I'm not gonna find the oppressor, and I'm also not gonna find oppressed. So,
Because the oppressor can come after me and the oppressed could be sued. So it becomes challenging for both.
So there are a lot of
so at the end of the day,
It's
Hindus
not.
lose.
It's not. Nobody wins. Even the Dalits do not win because then they become a threat also because they could be somebody who could be filing a lawsuit against you, just like in Cisco case. And another thing is they're also saying that this whole system is coming from India that impacts our immigration, our H-1 visas. And because if you can prove to a certain community in America or the legislator that this is a practice that comes from India, then it can impact our immigration, obviously, because they don't want to bring that here. So that is another drawback that we have. And then schools. So if let's say schools are doing this policy that Hindus are discriminating against their own, then then kids can be bullying. Could be said that you're bullying somebody, or somebody can be let go of school and they can be discharged from the school system because somebody filed a complaint against a student. There's a lot of danger and aftermath that can happen if this law goes through. That's the whole point of this, to make sure that our immigration is stopped, from India.
And the major thing about, we still know a little bit about, we're the first generation.
Our
We
next
still
generation do not know
know,
how to fight this.
yeah, we still know a little bit about caste system. My kids, they were born here, they had no clue about this. So when we're telling them, hey, this is what's going on in the caste system, and they're saying, what is so big deal? Let it be. If they want to put this caste system into the law, let it be. They do not understand the complications that will arise later on in their businesses, in their schools. My son can become a professor, and somebody can come in and tell him that, hey, you did not give me good grades because I'm of the lower caste, or you're of the upper caste, or this and that. I think it will become a big issue in every aspect of our life: businesses, schools, at home, parents talking to kids. It's just,
while the fight is still going on the state level, several leaders from the Congress as well, including Speaker. Have you people tried to eventually to blend it and expect
sure.
state they will go to the Congress?
Right. And we'll even go to the courts
Yeah,
after
even
that. Yeah.
headed towards that. Have you started kind of awareness of bringing these issues to the notices?
Yes.
And what's the feedback you receive?
So what we started is we have trying to have weekly town hall meetings. So we had town hall meeting with Shannon Grove. We had one with Vince Fong. and just this week we had it with Mr. Lowe. So we just started this. So what we do is we have been talking to them like nonstop, like Sundar and some of the other people that we have collaborated with. We are having this conversation. But when it comes to voting, we don't know what happens in those rooms because we don't have a
Behind the
voice in that
glass.
room. They decide unanimously to vote for the bill. We think that we got through to them. They understand our situation. They sympathize us. They talk to us. They feel like they know this is unjust. They know this is not fair. But something happens and they can't vote no. And that is something that we have been dealing with. It's been very disappointing and disheartening. So now what we decided to do is, okay, fine, it already happened. Now they already passed a certain level. We are now connecting. We're bringing our community so they can see we're not one person. We are hundreds and thousands of people, and you need to face us and tell us why you voted against us. So we have this. So just last week we had, just last Sunday we had a town hall. Now we're going to have another one in 2 weeks with different congressional committees. So we're going to have that.
So we're trying to train or teach our congressmen, our
Assembly member,
assemblymen,
our
and our
senators.
senators that, hey, we exist. Before this, we were sleeping. We've always donated some money and that was it, pretty much. But we are a big community.
Now we are
We are a
asking.
big network.
We have now we are talking to them. Are you aware of us? Or do you know who we are before we, try to, even if we want to fund them, we want to make sure they understand that we do exist and we have challenges. So we started way late. We have a lot of work to do, which we are working on it. So
We're years
we are
behind.
years behind. Yeah.